Well, welcome here to Pyengana. We have former president of the Fingal Football Club with me, Mr. Peter Hall. So, Peter, 2026, we see the East Coast Swans represent the Fingal Football Club against the Avondale Eagles in the Mazda BT50 Division 2 for the NTFA. What does this mean for the Fingal Football Club?
Oh, it's fantastic for St Helens Footy Club committee, volunteers, members, and that to put this day on. For us, so people that's been around the club when it was up and running for years, played a lot of games. It's really good to see the colours go out on the ground, and it sort of gives you goosebumps. If it was only a rule for us to be doing it, it'd be lovely. But yeah, that's just not the case. But it's really good that St Helens have gone on board and gone to all this trouble to put the day on.
Well, it looks fantastic. We're standing within the actual East Coast Swans tent, but within the East Coast Swans tent, we've got the history of the Fingal Football Club. Can you just give us a bit of a synopsis of the Fingal Football Club from its start-up to its recess?
Well, I think, I played about 330 games with the club, been around the club all my life. 1968, they started the under-16s. They realised there's too many kids walking the streets. We need to get them into footy, so that was when the under-16 started, which was good. Of course, it was called the Fingal Football Association, which there was some real strong rivalries between Fingal, St Mary's, St Helens, and those clubs, and good football. And there were some good footballers that came to the valley. It was just a shame that, as time went on, clubs were finding it harder to get players. Locals were sort of dropping off, but over many years there was a really good rivalry between the clubs. Yeah.
Can you tell us about some of the players that have come out of the Fingal Football Club that might have played, 200 plus games for the football club?
Yeah, we had probably one in particular was Scotty Marshall off a farm down near Tullagorum. He went over and trained with Carlton. He was a champion footballer, Scotty. His probably worst point with his game was his kicking, and that's what let him down with Carlton. He didn't quite make it, but there he played with us all his football career, and what a champion he was too. We had players that came there earlier days, Johnny Smith, he went and played with Longford, a little rover. Greg Barnes, another Fingal boy that went and played with Longford, was another rover. And then over the years, we had some good footballers. Chris Pollington that played with us. He also came down and played with St Helens later. So over the years, like a lot of clubs, a lot of good footballers came and went,
Nathan Lowe is coaching the East Coast Swans this year. He's a former 300-game player with the Fingal Football Club. Great connection with the current history, representing the former Fingal Football Club.
2007, that was when I went president. We approached Nuck for coach, and he took on the coaching job, and what a fantastic job he done. Like I said, we won the grand final that year. It wasn't only Nuck, it was just the old committee, the old town, but he was a great coach, easy to work with, and understanding, when you're buying players and trying to put 20 players on the park, and he's really good to work with.
Also wanted to mention Tim Coyle. Now, I believe Tim Coyle, former state cricketing legend and coach of the Tasmanian Tigers, has a former connection with the Fingal Football Club. I think he might have been coach at one stage. Is that right?
No, Timmy coached Avoca.
Avoca,
yes. Yeah, I can't think what year it was, but yeah, he did. Yeah.
Now, the memorabilia here is also housed, on my understanding, is at Mathina Memorial Hall. Is that correct?
That's correct, mate. Yeah. Since the closure of the Fingal Hotel, and then we had a lot down at the new football ground, which was new sheds and everything that was put up. When the football closed 2016, I was always a bit worried about it being down there. Was it going to get broken into? Something's going to happen. So Mathina community came along, Red Parsons and them, and they said, no, we'll put it up in Mathina in the hall on display. People can still see it, and we know it's going to be looked after. Because if you lose it, well, it's gone.
Yeah,
history's gone.
Yeah, that's gone forever, absolutely. Colours of the Fingal Football Club and also the mascot. So can you elaborate on that?
Colours, we changed. Over the course of the journey, we did change. We went from the original one to the kangaroos, vertical blue and white, but then they eventually came back to this colour again, which, an emblem which is really fitting for the Fingal Football Club. Yeah.
So the colours are the navy blue, so yep. Colden, but at the same time, the emblem of similarly the old Fitzroy Football Club.
It is, it is, mate, yeah. Fingal Football Club, As I say, we could stand here and talk for hours, I reckon, on that. because as I say, it's like a lot of clubs that's gone into recess, a lot of history, a lot of people you meet and everything, and just a shame. But once again, like I said earlier, it's really good that St Helens have gone to the effort to put a day on like this, for people like us. You can come and you sort of reminisce and kick a few goals and take a few marks and do all those sort of things when you're watching the game, yeah.
Fantastic. Now, where will you perch yourself throughout the course of today's proceedings? I notice there's a spit roast over there. So are you going to be there, or are you going to be sort of more vexed towards the wet area?
No, I'll be straight across the other side of the ground. Games like this, I like to sit on the chair so that I don't get distracted, so you're really watching the footy and taking it all in. Yeah. So otherwise, if you're over the booze, you start talking, drinking, and next thing you got your back to the game and you miss, the highlights of the game, because both teams have got a lot of good players playing with them. So.
Yeah, on that, the Swans last year won the premiership, only just. I think they got up over, might have been Campbelltown from memory. Oh, Perth, that's right, my apologies. So Perth, this last time Evandale played the Swans, I believe that Evandale, actually the Eagles, got over the top of them down here by 1 point. So you're expecting a close contest today. So who's your tip?
Well, I'm going to go to the Bay, of course. Yes. I'm still in to go against them. Like I said, it'll be a hard game. I've got a few connections that played with Fingal that have got connection with Evandale, and they reckon they've recruited well. So it will be a top game, yeah.
And the emergence of Ray Chamberlain here today, just to add a little bit of variety and spice to the game and the mix from the umpiring ranks in the AFL. What's your take on that?
I reckon it's absolutely fantastic, because he's a real entertainer, Ray, been a good umpire for years. And once again, to the St Helens Footy Club, to get someone like that down here, and a day like last night, they said was a terrific night, and to have him down here, like that wouldn't just happen. It'd be a lot of background work would have to go into getting him here. And once again, pat on the back to St Helens Footy Club volunteers in the community to do that.
Magic Pete, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the day. Enjoy reminiscing with old mates from the Fingal Football Club. And let's hope the Swans are able to get up over the top of the Eagles down here at Pyengana.
All right, thanks very much. Thank you.